Welcome to The Light. This evening, I am shedding light on the missing case of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie out of Tucson, Arizona. Now, this case is so much more than just a missing case because authorities have updated that they fully believe that Nancy was abducted from her home in the middle of the night. Now, you may recognize the face on top with Nancy. That is her daughter, Savannah Guthrie, who is one of the hosts of the NBC Today show. Let's get into it. Now, to start off with, if you would like to, you can watch the full press conference from the Pima County Sheriff's Office on my profile. It's already uploaded. I also have a very short 3-minute update from the Sheriff's Office when they spoke with the evening news. Unfortunately, at this time, for some reason, it triggered a community violation for no reason that I'm aware of. I submitted an appeal. Hopefully that will clear up soon and you'll be able to see that. However, I will cover the details of that interview in this video. I want to start off with, in regards to Nancy, the important things about her well-being. Now, when it comes to Nancy, yes, she is 84 years old. And when you think of somebody who is a senior and goes missing, first thought could be, is there anything mentally where there could be Alzheimer's, dementia, any of that? Nancy does not have that. They're saying she is sharp as a tack, no issues there. There's absolutely no concerns that she would just go wandering off. Now, we speak physically when it comes to Nancy. She has some issues with mobility. They do say that she wouldn't go more than 50 yards from her home. She wouldn't be able to on her own. So that is a big cause of concern. There's no reason that she would just wander off by herself. She does live alone. There are people that come by the home to take care of the home and, work around the house and such. Of course, the sheriff has reported that they have already spoken to some of those workers and are speaking to those they haven't yet. The other concern here is Nancy does take medication, and the medication that she takes, if she goes without taking it, could be fatal for her. And it has already been over 24 hours since she has taken her medication. Now it has been almost 48 hours since she has taken her medication, and that was left at home. So those are the concerns when it comes to her well-being physically, mentally. That is the status that we're working with at this time. Now, Nancy Guthrie's children, they last left her at her home around 9:45 p.m. on Saturday, January 31st. The following morning, on Sunday, February 1st, a member of Guthrie's church called her family to let them know that Guthrie was not in attendance at the service. The family then went to the house. They spent some time looking for her themselves before they called the sheriff's department. So they're guessing that maybe they got there around 11 a.m. Now, when the family went to look for the mother at the home, they did notice that all of her personal belongings were there. Her wallet, her cell phone, and her vehicle were there, but she was not anywhere to be found. Now, the sheriff at this point in time has said that he believes Savannah's mother, Nancy, was abducted and, quote, didn't go willingly from her home. When the authorities arrived to the scene of the property, it caused grave concern what they saw. He did not provide a possible motive, and while there was no initial indication that Nancy Guthrie could have been targeted because of her name, the sheriff did say that they can't dismiss that at this time. He went on to say, I believe she was abducted, yes. She didn't walk away from there. She didn't go willingly. He did tell that some investigators would try to determine if Guthrie was being stalked or harassed. The FBI is helping the investigation, some sources told the media. Now, just a little personal insight on that part about the FBI looking to see if there was any stalking or harassment on Savannah that could have led to something occurring to her mother. As somebody that comes from the entertainment industry out here in Los Angeles, it was a protocol for our executives that there was a full-blown security workup. What does that mean and what does that entail? This means that they were able to look at all of the properties or property that they had to see what that looked like, what were the vantage points, what was visibility, what was security look like, was it easily accessible, camera systems, all of that. And it even then went as far as to what is your digital footprint look like? Is it easy to find you, your personal information, so on and so forth. And they would put together an entire profile and then work from there with you to make sure that their executives were protected. And this wasn't for nothing, because as somebody that worked for executives, we had threats at times and issues. I can't go into some of them, but it happens. Now, I will say this, it's not something that I would see going beyond to extended family. It would typically simply just stay with that individual person. So it would make sense for someone like Savannah to have a security workup and to also be on the watch for threats, harassment, stalking. NBC would absolutely have a team on top of those things, their security team. So that is just some input from my experience within the industry. Now, so far in the search for Nancy, it has been said that they've used drones, aircraft, helicopters, heat sensors, and infrared. The sheriff said that everything we have thrown at this. Now, in an earlier press conference this morning, the sheriff also stated that homicide detectives were called to the scene, which he said was not standard protocol in a missing person case. Now, while certain things they cannot say because this is an active case, of course, and they don't want to, jeopardize anything in this case, there's so much that I feel like they are saying without saying it. When you have homicide detectives come, when you say that you are looking at even the property in the home as a crime scene, there's a lot that's being said by these things alone and by the actions that they're taking regarding this case. Now, a neighbor in that community even stated that this is a very quiet neighborhood. It's a very safe neighborhood. This is highly unusual, and we are very concerned about her. Now, law enforcement was said to have reached out, gone door to door, spoke to people, spoke to neighbors. They asked to see ring footage videos and to look through people's backyards. It was said that there's a very high response to Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. A volunteer rescue group also went through the brush and desert last night, and authorities deployed their drones and helicopter. Now, if you look at the press conference, they're going to show a map of all the area that they have covered, and they have really been extensively searching in the past less than 48 hours. Now, at a briefing today, the sheriff did say that an extensive search and rescue operation was shut down, as officials no longer see this as a search mission as much as we do a crime scene. And again, this is where I'm saying they're saying a lot without being able to give details. This is very concerning. And in the last video that I was trying to upload where the sheriff spoke with the evening news, at the very end, the sheriff was holding back tears. And I am all about those who have empathy. You can tell this man absolutely has empathy and a heart and a soul. He's very caring. It also, though, concerns me of what else he knows and may have seen. I think this man knows some things that are highly concerning to him, and this is extremely concerning in this case. This does not look very good, and I don't like saying that, okay? That's not something... I'm just looking at everything that we're being given, the information that we do have, the facts that we have, the information the sheriff is giving us, and it's very concerning. People were saying that they've looked at ring footage so far, and they unfortunately didn't have anything at this time. Deputies are looking at Nancy's cell phone because that was left behind, and they are going through that to see if there's anything on there. They are also trying to see if there's anything they can find through the department's use of AI because they believe it helps solve crimes just like this, and any cameras that they have. Now, the sheriff's department is asking the community to please look at any camera footage that you may have, anything that you may have noticed, that nothing is too small. They reminded that when you have cases like this, it is one big puzzle. And the thing is, you might not think something is important, but it can actually be a piece of the puzzle. And when everybody's contributing their pieces, it can help put together the picture. So he reiterated that it's really important to please just contact, to please reach out with anything that you have. If you think you see Nancy, take a photo, please send it in. He said, let them dismiss the information that they've received, if it's accurate or not. But what he doesn't want anyone to do in this community is withhold information that they might have, because it might be helpful in this case. Let them figure it out. Now, Savannah Guthrie has made a statement on behalf of the family, and she did say, on behalf of our family, I want to thank everyone for the thoughts, prayers, and messages of support. Right now, our focus remains on the safe return of our dear mom. We thank law enforcement for their hard work on the case and encourage anyone with information to contact the Pima County Sheriff's Department at 520-351-4900. Now you can see I have that phone number up there, as well as the 8A Crime Anonymous reporting. So you don't have to identify yourself. If you have information, go ahead, report this anonymously. I also want you to look at the photos of Nancy and what she looks like. I'm also going to share a full image of her here so that you can see as well. She does use a cane in this photo. And again, she has limited mobility. Now she's 84 years old. She is 5'5". Her weight is approximately 150 pounds. She has brown hair. She has blue eyes. She was last seen on the evening of January 31st, 2026 at her residence near East Skyline Drive and North Campbell Avenue. Now, it's unknown what clothing she may have been wearing. It is being anticipated she may have been abducted from her home between 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. And if she was abducted in the middle of the night, it's a higher possibility she probably had on some type of pajamas. Now, another neighbor in the community spoke to the press saying that they recalled the police having a helicopter up looking for her on Sunday, and they were noting that there's no sidewalks in our neighborhood. You just walk on the street and then there's desert. So they thought she walked off into the desert or something, but she walks with a cane, so I can't imagine why she would do that. Again, they were being asked to check footage to see if anything popped up out of the ordinary. And this neighbor had heard that so far, nobody had found anything on their videos. Now, Nancy's home is in an affluent area of the Catalina foothills, and the lights were also on in the common area of the home. Her front door was unlocked. However, it is being reported that there were signs of a forced entry, hence a lot of the inclination that this is more a crime scene and that this was an abduction, because this was completely abnormal for Nancy Guthrie. There is an update that has confirmed that Nancy's home did have surveillance cameras that authorities are looking through. The Sheriff's Department is also using license plate readers and camera systems throughout the community. Now, just a small aside, Savannah Guthrie was set to head out to Italy this Friday to host the Winter Olympics coverage, and she is set to drop out naturally in this situation as her mother is missing, and she's in Arizona now assisting with the search and supporting the authorities at this time. Please make sure that you pay attention to the information about Nancy here. If you have any information, even if you're unsure about it, please contact the Pima County Sheriff's Department. The numbers are noted above. If you would like to go anonymously, again, that information is above, phone numbers, and you can also visit 88crime.org. Thank you for tuning into the light. Please make sure that you do share this video to get this information shared as broadly as possible. These details do matter in a case like this. You never know who out there may know something. Make sure that you're following me for more updates on this case and many more that I cover. As always, I will see you all in the next one.